We open with a shot from the sky of a vast forest on a sunny day. A pond and mountain are visible, and birds can be heard chirping. We then cut into the forest as a rabbit hops out of some bushes and towards the pond shown in the previous shot. We move in closer to the rabbit, who has now stopped out in the open due to their stomach growling. The rabbit moves its head from left to right in search of something to eat. The viewer is given a point of view shot of the rabbit as it scans the surrounding area, eventually spotting a carrot. The camera pans to the left and to the right with the head of the rabbit and zooms in to signify it's spotting the carrot. The shot reverses and we see the rabbit bound out of frame towards the carrot. The camera remains looking at the bushes behind the rabbit from which it previously emerged, and we now see a fox poke its head out from those same bushes. The shot reverses again, now positioned behind the fox in the bushes. Ahead, we see the rabbit now nibbling on the carrot it spotted as the fox brings its head low and begins sneaking out of the bushes towards the rabbit. The shot reverses one final time, with the rabbit continuing to nibble on the carrot, blissfully unaware of the predator sneaking up behind it. The fox continues to sneak forward, with a twig visible in the path between the rabbit and the fox. The camera cuts closer in towards the fox as it continues to sneak, focusing slightly more on the twig previously shown in the previous shot. In slow motion, the fox paw comes down on the twig, cutting on action as it finally makes contact. The camera cuts back to the initial shot of the forest from above, as a deafening crack can be heard. Birds fly out of the forest as the crack rings out and echoes. With the fox visible in the distant background, the rabbit brings its head up into the frame, blocking the viewer's vision of the fox. The rabbit looks shocked and immediately runs off, exiting frame left. The fox becomes visible once more for a short period as the rabbit moves before the cut. The camera begins tracking the rabbit as it runs away. The camera then slows to a halt as the rabbit leaves the frame to the left and the fox enters, running from the right of the frame to the left. A longer distance shot of the rabbit and fox running is then shown, with the rabbit dodging past bushes, blocking the viewer from seeing the full scene at times. The chase continues out to a tilted fallen log, with the rabbit hopping underneath, while the fox jumps across the top. They both continue running out towards bushes on the left of the frame. During this, the camera pans from the right to the left with the pair as they run across the length of the log and towards the bushes. The fox emerges on top of a log, walking slowly towards the end of it as it looks from the side to side. As it approaches the end of the log, the shot cuts. The fox walks towards the end of the log with the camera tilting downwards as it approaches the camera, revealing the rabbit hiding inside the hollow of the log. The rabbit begins to let out a sigh of relief until a pair of glowing red eyes lights up behind it, startling it. The rabbit then quickly runs out of the log towards the right. The chase resumes once more, with the rabbit passing into a group of bushes and the fox following after it. The rabbit runs out of the forest and towards the edge of a mountain. It stops and stands up, unsure of if it should enter into the dark cave. The shot reverses, and we see the rabbit still standing, unsure of whether to enter. As the fox becomes visible in the bushes behind the rabbit runs ahead into the cave. The fox hesitantly approaches the cave, lowering its head and sniffing inquisitively as it considers chasing the rabbit inside. The camera then zooms out, revealing the full size of the mouth of the cave as the silhouette of a large creature becomes visible in the darkness. The fox begins whimpering and backing away from the cave. The camera cuts closer to the silhouette in the cave as fiery red eyes become visible and a low growling begins to increase in volume. The fox has lowered its body and continued to whimper, eventually turning tail and fleeing away from the cave in fear. We are then given a wider length shot showing the fox fleeing away from the mountain as the silhouette begins to fade away from the opening of the cave. We resume the close-up of the mouth of the cave as the rabbit hops out of it, and we begin to zoom out to reveal the full opening once more. The rabbit continues hopping out and away from the cave peacefully, and the creature inside the cave begins to exit as well, revealing that the monster's size pales in comparison to that of the silhouette, and that the monster is quite cute and friendly. The viewer is given a standing shot of the monster in full light, revealing it in its entirety. We are then given a point of view shot of the monster from the rabbit's perspective as it looks down at the rabbit, giving it an instant squeak as it does so. We cut back out and show the rabbit and the monster closing their eyes and rubbing their heads together as friends. The shot then fades to black. Fading in from black, the rabbit and the monster are now hanging out, enjoying the sunset as credits begin to roll over the top of the scene. The end.